Hey everybody, this is Tom from the Tom Parsley channel, and just like Parsley, we get into a little bit of everything. So what are we going to get into today? We're going to be talking about hummingbirds. We're going to talk about feeding hummingbirds, what you could plant in your garden to attract hummingbirds, and the best way to keep those little guys and gals really happy. So let me turn you around and show you what this hummingbird feeder is all about. So there are different kinds of hummingbird feeders. They're all different types of fancy, and as far as what the hummingbird wants, they don't care if it looks fancy, if it's glass, if it's colored or what. They just key into the color: red, yellow, reds and yellows. That's it. This particular one is plastic, but again, they don't care if it's glass, if it's blue, if it's red, if it's purple. That's up to you. If you like it and you like looking at it, perfect. That's all they care about. That would be pretty cool if a hummingbird came right in as we were here. But anyway, the nectar that you're going to want to make to put in here, don't use any red dye. They sell this. They sell the powder that you can buy and might have red dye in it. Do not put red dye inside of hummingbird nectar. This is the recipe. You ready? It's 1 to 4. 1 sugar, white sugar, not organic, not brown sugar, white cane sugar, 1 ratio, 1 part, 1 cup, 1 teaspoon, whatever it is, 1 part of sugar to 4 parts water, plain old water. If your water is kind of funky smelling, filter it, get spring water, filtered water, put it through the Brita, whatever. Make sure it's clean water because you don't want any kind of chemicals in the water that you're making. So it's 1 sugar to 4 water. That's it. You mix it up together. What I do is I make a little bit more than a quart at a time. This holds a quart, but I don't use a quart, and I'll tell you why in a minute. What I do is I just do 2 cups of hot water. I add the 1 cup of sugar, mix it around so it dissolves, make sure it's dissolved. Then I add 2 cups of cold water, and that will bring it down. So if I want to use it right away, it's not hot. I don't want to put hot nectar out here because that's not good for the hummingbirds. So bring it down to room temperature by tempering it with the cold water, and then that's perfect. Then I'll try to keep this in frame just in case a hummingbird comes in. You can hear them before they come in. So then I just put just a little bit, and then I keep the rest in the fridge. Now, it's summer. This is when hummingbirds usually return about mid-June, give or take, depending on your region, but usually around mid-June. I'm on Long Island, so I'm on, usually around June they come, and then they leave around October-ish, end of September, October, because they're migrating. I got to remember to keep this in frame, because they're migrating. So, and they need that nectar fuel. So, you may notice it looks a little cloudy. This is time for me to change because here comes the sun. When it warms up, this ferments very fast. And fermented nectar is no good for hummingbirds. You want to make sure that you have fresh, clean nectar. So how often do you have to change it? In the summer, every 1 or 2 days, unless they're taking it down. Sister of Tom Parsley, Joanne Parsley, lives in Colorado, and she gets hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hummingbirds, and she's constantly filling the hummingbird feeder. Here, I only get 1 or 2 if I'm lucky, so I have to dump it out, clean it, and refill it. Cleaning it, the best thing to use to clean it, if you do happen to have any mold growing, you don't want any mold because that will kill the hummingbirds, is you want to use just white vinegar, straight white vinegar. That's all you need to clean it. Scrub it out, clean it, put some fresh nectar in. You're gonna have to do it every day or so in the summer heat because once it gets cloudy, it's time to change. So I'm gonna put in a video I took about a couple of weeks ago of a hummingbird on one of my feeders. So you could see what she looks like, and you could clearly tell the difference between a female and a male. We're talking ruby-throated hummingbirds, and females still have that iridescent green on their back, but the males have that ruby-throated iridescent red on their throat, ruby-throated, to show that they are the male. And what's really neat is if you get 2 males coming, they are territorial and they will fight each other to get to the feeder. That's why it's good to have another feeder. I have another feeder a little further away just to provide a little bit of space between if there are males. I haven't seen 2 males yet. I have seen males and I have seen the female. Oh, here's one right here. Look, here she is. Let's see if, oh, I'm going to try to be very, very quiet and see if she comes in. Let me back up. Oh, she took away. She flew away. See, I told you if we were here long enough, we would see one. I don't know. I hope you saw it. I'll try to, in the edit, I'll try to see if I could zoom in and see if I got it on camera. I was looking at the bird and not on the screen to see if I got it. Let me turn it around. Let me back up just a little bit. I'm just trying not to step in any poop. If I still hear her around. Let me look at my other one. Oh, I think she went to the other feeder. Hold on, let me see. Yep. Oh, there she is. And there she went. Okay. So I don't know if you heard it, but it just made that that little trilling that hummingbirds do. So I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna sit and wait. I'm gonna sit over here and see if I could catch a hummingbird. If I catch a hummingbird, you'll see. If I don't, I'll just intersperse the video I took a couple of weeks ago. Okay. All right, there she is. Oop. So as quickly as they come, the quickly they go away. She did come back after I walked over here. May come back as I'm standing here. That would be kind of cool. But you can hear them buzz. Their buzzing is very, very loud, and they have that trilling as they fly away. I don't know if you might have heard it on the video, but this is a quart-size feeder. Should I had a quart-size bigger feeder? I think it's a little too big for what I'm using it because I got to constantly change out the nectar. So a smaller one would have been better, and glass. I do prefer glass over plastic because I think the glass is just a little bit easier to clean and a little bit more resistant to molds and stuff. But just 1 part sugar, 4 parts water, no dye, nothing. You don't need to buy anything, and that's you'll be good to go. One thing I did add is I noticed a couple of days ago in the heat that the ants found the feeder. Let me show you what I did here. So I put this goop, you see this kind of goopy stuff on the stand here, and it's a barrier for ants. I think it was called ant goop. I'll put the link down below on Amazon. It does keep the ants away, so I haven't found any ants here. And depending on how you're hanging it, depends on how you put the goop. Let me show you that's my other feeder, and you can see how cloudy it looks. When I'm done with this video, I'm gonna change out all this nectar and clean it out. But you can see I put that ant goop, let me turn you around. I put it right over here. So if ants crawl along the cable, they can't crawl down. And I also put some over here because I noticed they were crawling up this post and then crawling over to get down to the feeders. So we're gonna give that a try. Let me show you some plants I have growing. I don't have a lot, but let me show you some plants I have growing that hummingbirds love. So this over here is a native trumpet vine. It's not a honeysuckle, and it's loaded in ants. I just got ants all over my hand. But you can see the colors is what keys them in. Reds, yellows, oranges, but this is, they are able to put their beak right inside these flowers and collect nectar. And this is a good native vine. I'll put the native, the Latin name right down here. But this is a trumpet vine. I'll show you what I have. This is a honeysuckle vine also, but this is a European variety. This isn't native. When I bought it, I thought it was a native vine, but it must have been mislabeled because this is not a native honeysuckle vine. It's the hummingbirds will still go to it, but it's not native. Let me turn you around so you can see the flowers. So the flowers and the smell is really nice, and the hummingbirds do love it, but this is not a native, and it's still flowering, and it does grow over this trellis that I have here. Look at my Virginia creeper. It is just covered in pollinators. So, and that's a native vine, so that's really good. The flowers are really teeny tiny. Look at all the bumblebees. They're going crazy over it, and all the other little pollinators. So this honeysuckle vine is a European variety, but the hummingbirds still like it, so I leave it. Let me show you a native version. So growing up right over here is the native honeysuckle, the Lonicera sempervirens. I'll put the Latin name down here. It's Goes by many different names: coral honeysuckle, trumpet honeysuckle, but don't get it confused with trumpet vine. But this is the native. I like to call this hummingbird crack, because when I had it growing, it was covered in hummingbirds. So this is the second year I have it. And there's an old saying about native plants. The first year, they sleep. The second year, they creep. And the third year, they leap. So I'm hoping next year, this is really going to go crazy and cover this entire arbor and kind of compete with the Virginia creeper. But here's a little kind of zoom in. I know it's not hummingbirds, but zoom in on the Virginia creeper here. And there's a bumblebee, drinking some water or dew over there. But the flowers are really, really, really tiny. But this morning when it was in sun, it was just covered in pollinators. And over here I have another of that trumpet honeysuckle, the European variety, growing with some climbing roses. There are other varieties of plants that hummingbirds love. You just have to find what grows well in your region and then plant it. And then the hummingbirds will come, just like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. It'll take a little while for them to find it, but they will find it. So pretty cool. So hummingbirds, put a feeder out. Keep them fed, keep it clean, don't let it ferment, don't forget about it, because fermented nectar is not good for the hummingbirds, and see what happens. So this is Tom from Tom Parsley Channel, reminding you of 3 things: like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.